Let's bring on our guest tonight. Miss Crystal, you here?
Yes, sir. I'm right here.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to hear from you. You can introduce yourself to everyone, let everyone know how you found FFL and what you've been doing, and also announce the name of your new team that should be out here soon. New logo is going to be unleashed.
Yes, I'm super excited. So I'm Crystal Clark. I'm right here in Virginia, 2 up, 2 down. That's like our little tagline that we have here. But FFL found me, Kendall Clark, basically came to my house one day and said, "You're going to do this." So it kind of found me. But I'm happy that I did study, get my license. I did work for the government for many years. And of course, during the pandemic, a lot of things changed. And so I was happy that I had my FFL business to fall back on when that kind of just, went to the left. And then you asked me something else. I totally forgot what you asked me.
Oh, announce your new team name.
Oh, yes. So I'm excited. Oh, God, long time coming. FFL Undeniable is our team name. Super excited. Hey, Dominique. Good to see you. Yep. So that's it. FFL Undeniable coming through to a neighborhood near you. You would like for me to talk about telesales?
Yeah, like when you first got in here, were you ever in the field or was it just strictly telesales right when you got in?
Right. So I'm so happy you asked because, and at first I got to apologize. I literally just got my voice back today. I didn't have my voice for 2 days. But that's a whole nother story. But my background is actually call centers and customer service. I am customer service certified. I have my PMP certification as well. And so I've lived and breathed customer service for about 30 years. And being that I'm only 36, that pretty much means since birth. But anyway, that was a joke.
I see people laughing.
That's my background. Yep. So I got into telesales. Obviously, the pandemic changed a lot of things for me. As I mentioned, when I first got started, let me just back up. When I first got started in FFL, I was working full time. So anybody that works full time, a full-time job, and is doing FFL part-time, I'm your person. I'm the person you want to talk to. My schedule was extremely crazy. So I got up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, went to the gym, got on the line for my job at 7:30. I worked till like 4:30. And then I scheduled all my appointments in the evening for FFL and on the weekends. So my day literally was like 6 o'clock in the morning till I pretty much fainted at night, like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. I would be in the field. And notice I said in the field. I was not in telesales. I was in the home, talking to clients in their face. And for any appointments that I couldn't run that I scheduled during the day, I just had other agents, run the appointments for me on the split. And then we just made it happen. I got licensed in February of 21 and 21. Sorry, because time is going by fast. And then in March, I sold my first policy because, through licensing, I'm in the licensed states where you have to get fingerprinted and everything. So once that took place, I sold my first policy in March. And then from March to the end of the year, I slipped up and made over 6 figures part-time and didn't even know how I did it. So I was like excited. As you know, the next year, literally almost to the day in March, I got a phone call from my HR department saying, "Hey, I requested to not be vaccinated. I'm just gonna put it out there. I did not want to be vaccinated." And so because of that, they said, "Well, we have to go ahead on and terminate your contract with the government. Feel free to come back anytime as soon as you get your shot." And I said, "Wow. Okay, God, I think you're talking to me." So I said, "Well, you know what? All right, thank you, but no thank you." So I left and I went full time in last February, and I've been full time with FFL ever since. And the government has called me not once, not twice, but 3 times to come back. And I'm so happy to have been able to decline them and tell them, no, I'm fine. I've made more money. They can't pay me to come back. Like they can't. Even on my worst month, it's still way more, And just to let y'all know, I made very good money with the government because I was a contractor and I worked in HR. So I had a very nice income. and still FFL beats it every time. So my transition to telesales was, to me, was almost like going back home. I've managed call centers. I've managed over thousands of people in the call center. I've actually gone from other states and built call centers with the previous companies that I've worked with. And that's actually how the government found me. They headhunted me and said, well, hey, you've done so good here in the corporate sector. We want you to do this here for us in the government. And that's exactly what I did. I'm documented with Department of Commerce and Department of Education as actually creating foundations of their customer service platforms for these agencies. So I'm very proud of that, but I'm more proud to be able to take every single thing that I've learned there and incorporate it here into my own team, to my own business. And so if I can, Mike, I don't know if you want to ask me questions, but I just kind of have just like some CC's cute little points that I want to kind of share. Does that help?
Yeah, share them. Go ahead.
All
Anything,
right.
anything you can share that can help everyone else is appreciated.
Awesome. So the one thing that I noticed with telesales is that, well, first of all, let me back up. So, you know, with at the beginning, it was a lot of what do I want to say, like uneasiness, right? Because a lot of people are used to being, well, I came from people that were used to being in the field. So we had to change our brain and come in the home. But everybody pretty much up here now, you all are starting off on the phones, right? And you're talking to people and you're learning how to make those adjustments. So that's great. The first thing that I would say is, number one, you want to definitely make sure you stick to a schedule. Because one thing being home, you will get spoiled sitting in your seat and taking that long commute down the hallway or up and down the steps. And it just becomes this, you know, oh God, it's so painful. Like, you actually want me to roll out of bed and work today? Well, I think I'll do laundry, or I think I'll go cut the grass. No, you need to work as if you are working every single day. And I will say that definitely led to my success, because my work ethic is I still get up every morning, 6 o'clock. You know, I'm not gonna say I'm in the gym every day, but I try to go to the gym because now I'm just too excited. I just want to get on my Zoom with my team, honestly, at this point, and get started with my day. I take a normal lunch break. I get right back on and I'm dialing all night. So you want to make sure that you have a schedule. Ladies, if you're married and your spouse is working, sit down and have a conversation with your spouse to let them know what you're doing in your schedule. Sit down and have a conversation with your children to let them know this is what mommy is doing, okay? Because we as mothers, we take on everything and we wear every hat, and you cannot do this and run a business. So you have to make sure that you communicate with your household. Fellas, if your wife is working or if she's a home mother, let her know these are my office hours. This is what I'm doing. I'm providing for the family. I'm here. Hey, go take the kids outside. I need these 2 hours or these 3 hours blocked off so that, you know, you can get that steak or your heels that you want to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have this conversation in the house and make sure that you're sticking to a schedule. And then once you do that, make sure your office is ready. I'm doing like a little training series I call right now through our lunch and learns with my agents about properly setting up their office. And I'm just kind of amazed at how we are in telesales and we're just not together. We're not together with not just a schedule. I'm just talking about not together with knowing where your carriers are. Not together with tracking your clients, not together with, you know, making sure your forms and everything are in order, not together with your home office. So make sure that you have your home office set up. And I'm saying these things, and it's kind of like some of y'all might be saying, yeah, duh, that's right. But duh, you'd be surprised how many people aren't doing this. Like, they take it for granted. Make sure you know where your links are. We have awesome resources. You know, we utilize FFL Card. I love that we have FFL National. I'm about to dive into that tonight during my off hours, like sitting in front of the TV when I'm chilling. I'm going to be going through that site, tearing it up. And guess what? Undeniable, you know it's coming to a training near you, because I believe in spitting it right back out. I keep nothing. I share everything. And my team will tell you that. Once I find out, hey, did y'all know about this? Because my thing is sharing is definitely caring. If you can get more information out to your agents to get them ahead of the curve so that they understand, when the roadblocks come, man, they're jumping over those hurdles like it's nothing. They're in the Olympics, they're ready to go. So you want to make sure that you have your physical office ready and your mental office ready, right? Have the conversations, but make sure that everything is set up where you need it to be. You don't want to look disorganized over the phone. I know that your clients, they may not be able to see you. And if you're setting up a Zoom, that's even worse. Then they can really see how disorganized you are, right? So if you have everything set up and ready to go, I mean, I wouldn't expect any less if you were coming into my physical office and I came to your desk and I asked you for a file, where is it? And if you can't give it to me, we got a problem. So why are we doing this at home? Just saying, food for thought. Have your office ready. The second thing is make sure your leaves are good and ready to go. You know, I love it that Dean is here, because Dean was like, yo, man, print out your stuff, get it ready to go. You got to be fired up, you know? And I'm like, Dean is right. You got to be fired up, you know, whether you're getting liens downloaded or sent to you, or if you're running them off or print them, whatever you need to do, you make sure you do it the night before. Again, if I was in a physical office and I came to your desk and I'm your manager and I said, hey, Mike, yo, what leads are you working today? What are your clients? Who are you calling? If Mike doesn't give me this information, I'm looking at Mike like, we about to do a performance plan, because I need to talk to you and make sure you get yourself together, sir, because what are we doing here? We're wasting time, right? We got families to protect, and we can't do that if you're flooded all over the place and don't know where your stuff is, right? So have your leads ready to go the night before, and then that way you have your mind set, and make sure you're checking your time zones. Don't forget, we're in telesales, guys. I'm in Virginia. I'm on the East Coast. So if I get leads in, you know, Texas and California and, you know, all these Western states, I want to make sure I'm not calling them at 5 o'clock in the morning, right? So make sure you know your time zones. I have a map that I'm looking at right above my monitor that has the time zone states up there. I printed it out. I also, when I'm out and about or I'm traveling, I have the map saved in my pictures, so I can pull it up and I can look at it right away. Again, it's all about being prepared and being ready to go when go time hits. Another thing is breathe often. But sometimes you just have to take a breath, right? You may have that client that may knock the wind out of you. So you just have to kind of, all right, let me bring it down. You know, don't take it personal. It's okay. Telesales it's not hard. It's really about relating. It's really about relatability and having good conversations and building rapport, right? I've talked to Mike. I've talked to you maybe a couple of times now, Mike, over the phone. Yeah. And casual conversation. I'm talking to him just smooth. He's talking to me smooth. I can sell Mike a policy right now, because I built relationships. I know I can. I don't care how much you got. Like, I'm selling it. You got to be confident. Frank's laughing, and that's fine. I'm gonna sell Frank one too as soon as I get off the phone with Mike. So, you know, that's just how I feel. Like, it's going to be a conversation, because, hey, Mike, you're my friend. And guess what? I'm your new agent. I'm your friend. I'm the friend on the other end. I'm the one that's going to help you. I'm the one that's going to be there for your family to help you fill out that policy should anything happen to you in the event of your death. We don't know the time, the day, nor the hour, but Lord knows they need to have a friendly voice on the other end that they can talk to. I'm your friendly voice. I'm your person. Don't we all want to be somebody's person? Don't we want to feel special and validated? So, you know, that's building rapport, having conversations. You know, we have to remember, all of you see my face now. I do an exercise with my team, and I'm going to do it really quickly for you guys. I do this exercise with my team all the time, that I'm talking to Jesse and I'm saying, hey, Jesse, listen, I understand you want to protect those 3 little kids that you have. Hey, Frank, I totally understand that your wife she's your most prized possession, and you want to make sure that you're covered and your family is covered. Hey, Dominique, I really know that you care about your children and you want to make sure that they are protected and covered. I'm your person. I'm here as your person that you can call and talk to any single time, so that if you have a problem, you just text me. This is my personal number. You can reach out to me, because I am your agent. Y'all don't see my face, but you felt me. That's telesales. If they're not feeling you, then yeah, you need to come to my training, because we got a problem, right? But telesales is all about building rapport, but making sure your tone is good. Make sure you're speaking clearly. Make sure you're thinking. Make sure you're listening. You have to listen, because your clients will tell you exactly what their problem is. Ask them what has them interested in life insurance. You know, what made you fill out this request? Because I'm here to answer the call. You sent out an SOS. I'm here to answer the call. So what are we doing? This is what we're doing. I'll tell you exactly what we're doing. We're going to make sure you get you quoted, qualified, and approved today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because you sent out an SOS, and I got to make sure I fulfill that request. So it's all about tone. See how confident I sound. See how my tonality is good, but I'm your friend. At the end of the conversation, you want to make sure that they understand that you have their back. And that is very important in telesales because, again, most of us don't have the luxury of meeting them face to face, and you're not in front of them. They can't see what you look like. So your tone is everything. It's everything. And I really, really talk to my agents about that a lot. Also, learning your script. You know, I used to joke, and this is so true. I was in the call center for like so long before I became a manager that I would go home and the phone would ring and I would pick up the phone and say, "Hey, this is Crystal. What's up? Oh, I'm sorry. Lord have mercy, I'm home. What's up, girl?" You know, like the script was so embedded in me. Like I forgot that I was not at work anymore. Well, guess what? We need to be that way here. You need to forget, right? You need to be able so that, you know, if Verna or Brandon reaches out to me and, you know, I'm ready to just bam, hit that script running. Like, "Hey, this is Crystal giving you a call back on the request that you submitted. What has you interested in life insurance today?" Like, I know it like the top of my head. And I don't care where they are or what they say or how they try to maybe derail me, because you have all different personality types, right? Over the phone. It doesn't matter how they derail you or talk to you. If you know your script like the back of your hand or the front of your hand or like your hand period, okay, you can get them right back on track no matter what they say to you. That is why the script is so important. So listen, guys, if you don't really know your script or you only know it halfway, I'm going to empower you all tonight to, once we get off this call, go sit on the sofa, read the script from top to bottom, and practice memorizing that sucker for the next week until we meet again, whenever. Next week, I'll give you a week, okay? Because it's so important to know the script. And most importantly, my next to the last point is that above and beyond knowing the script, because the script is half of it, I bet you don't know what the other half is. The other half is knowing the objections. See, we're really good at reciting. A script sounds like a telemarketer. So if I know my script and I'm just sticking to, well, they didn't answer this way, but I have to say this, then, oh my God, you sound like a telemarketer. And I'll tell my agents all the time, ding, 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 you're on the time clock, click, and they're going to hang up the phone. Like you're on the clock. So if you don't know how to overcome the objections along with the script, we got a problem. It's like peanut butter and jelly, right? So your script is your peanut butter. It's going to stick to you. It's going to get you going. It's going to make your palate feel nice and sticky and gushy and But that jelly, overcoming those objections, oh, that's the sweet stuff right there. You know how to overcome the objections, you're going to get the sale. And ain't nothing like a good old peanut butter and jelly sandwich, if you know what I mean. Okay, especially on some white bread. I'm just saying, with some milk. I got you. All right. So that's why you have to have both sides. Okay. You have to know your script, but you also have to be able to overcome those objections. Because if you get the common objections and know how to master those, man, any of the other ones you can feel your way through. All right. So understand and know those common objections as well. And my last point, you got to stay excited. You gotta stay excited. People feel your energy. I hope you feel my energy. Like I have half a voice. Imagine when I'm full throttle. Mike, bring me back when I'm full throttle, brother. Man, you don't even understand. I'm gonna blow this thing up. Like, okay. But this is me at half a voice. And I'm excited. I'm excited to protect the family. I'm excited that I'm able to help them. I'm excited to get the annuity. I'm excited to be able to get them something that fits in their budget. Right? I'm excited to overcome the objection. I'm excited, like, period. I'm just excited. I was one of those kids. Yeah. I walk in the classroom and I'm like, what today? You know, that's me. Now, I understand that we have many different personality types here. And some people are like, well, Crystal, I'm not as animated as you, or I'm not as, my voice doesn't do what your voice does. I'm glad, because you're not me. You are you. So be the best you that you can be. Okay. So if you're a cool, calm, collective person, I'm gonna need you to bring your swag to the phone call. All right. Not so much you're trying to date the person, but I'm just saying, bring some good swag to the call. All right. If you're a monotone, I will tell you, tone is everything. So you definitely want to bring the tone up. You definitely want to have the voice inflections every once in a while. If you're super serious, hey, learn how to crack a joke every while. Whatever you need to do to make sure that you are relatable to that client, that is what's going to help you succeed in telesales. other than buying your leads and picking up the phone and dialing, I think that these tips will help. They've helped me, they've helped my team. As we see, these past 2-3 months have been phenomenal. Like, you guys don't even know how crazy it's been. And we're just going up, and I just constantly meet my agents where they are. Because we have our different personality types, right? So I meet them where they are. I talk to them. I have one-on-ones with them. And if some of them are nervous about maybe dialing on a screen full of everyone, I'll pull them into the breakout room for 20 minutes and say, all right, straight dial. I'm sitting back. It's just me and you, one-on-one coaching. Because sometimes as leaders, we need to do that, right? I just think back to my work days. I had agents that, maybe they were a little afraid, or, oh, maybe something was going on in their own personal life. And I understand that we all have things that are going on, but I would pull them aside and talk to them. And your agents are just like, your clients. They want to know that you care. We care. I care. I want to know what's going on, because it could be something that's really like, it could be like something really major. And so we need to have that conversation so that I can kind of meet you where you are and figure out how we can make this work. Maybe you have somebody in the house that doesn't have your back. We have your back. That's why it's so important to be in this community and plug in, because this is where you get your encouragement from, right? But you can also understand how to overcome objections here. You can also understand how to perfect your script here. You can find out where your resources are and how to get to them. That's right, here. So that's what it's all about. In telesales, you really have to do just a little bit extra in different ways. But a lot of the things that I share with my team that have allowed us to really get to this point, and now we're just going so much that it's like, I don't even see it stopping, is really just staying plugged in, staying to the fire, and making sure that all the things that I've taught people to do in a physical office, now I'm teaching them to do it in a virtual office. And we're taking away the excuses. So that's what we're doing, Mike. I hope that helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Dom, I saw Dominique holding up his script, Crystal, when you were talking about script. Dom, what do you think, man?
Yo, Crystal, by the way, congratulations.
Thank you, brother. Good to see you again.
It's crazy. It was like about a year ago. I was out there, right?
Yeah.
In a year's time, what could happen?
Look at that.
So great job. But when you sit on that script, I was never too, and I hope anybody who's new on here, if you're transitioning into telesales or if you're just getting into the business, really took what she said. Like, I know it was funny, the peanut butter and jelly, but I think she makes things funny so you remember. But but it's real. Like, that is for real. Like, you can get away with not a script when you're doing the in person, and you know what I mean? Like, you can get away with it. It's a minute. You're on the phone 30, 45 seconds. They could probably even think you're the cable guy before you come over, as long as they're there. But on the telesale, you can't just do it by the hip. And Frankie, that's why I got blown up when I started doing telesales, because I used to do this thing by my hip. Makes sense? I was very reactive on the in-home versus being proactive on telesales. In telesales, you have got to be proactive. And this peanut butter right here is it. And then the jelly is the studying, is the role playing, so I love what you said. I just, hopefully folks didn't just get a laugh out of that. Hopefully they're taking it really, I mean, but that was good stuff, what you said. Very good.
Thanks, Dom. I appreciate that. So another thing too is that, what was I going to tell you guys? I'm sorry. I made the classic mistake of taking off my glasses. Probably not a good thing to do. Oh, so other things that I do, this is just like extra stuff that I do on the side in telesales. Because one thing about telesales, and it's crazy, I kind of did this too when I was at home, to be honest with you. I'm just now doing it in telesales, is I will send out like little e-cards to the clients, for their birthday. Like if it's their birth month, then I'll send out a mass happy birthday, this is your birth month, to the clients. I also do like well checks. So like every 6 months or every year, I'll reach out to them and I'll say, hey, remember me? I'm your handy dandy, trusted insurance agent. Just want to check on you, make sure everything is good. Hey, I also wanted to let you know, did you know I also do annuities and retirement planning? hey, did you also know I do children's policies in case I didn't protect your children? Like, so I get a crap load of referrals just by going back. Oh, I'm not even gonna lie. That going back, you know how you're in the buffet line and you go down the first time. The first time is when you first meet them, right? But then, you know, we all greedy, right? We want to go for seconds, or we're going for the dessert. The referrals, that's the dessert, man. Go back and get the dessert. So, but you have to do the reach backs. And the way I do the reach backs is I call them and I say, I just want to make sure that you got your policy and make sure you didn't have any questions. Did you get it in the mail? And that does two things for me. Number one, in case I missed it, I make sure that they got the policy and everything's okay. And then secondly, it just gives me a segue to go right in and say, hey, and I ask those questions, and it never failed. God is my witness. I get like 3 or 4 referrals because I built the relationship with them. They know exactly who I am. And then I also send them an e-card. I use Link, LINQ. And I can drop my link in the chat. Oh God, thank y'all so much in the chat. Wow. But I would drop my e-card in the chat so you can see my profile. But it has my picture in there. It has my credentials, all the different services that I offer, which is basically all the different types of insurances, the states that I'm licensed in. And then I have some videos in there too, that they can click on the videos. I have the annuity, Sean Ruggiero annuity videos. I have, we use Jack Life Leads. I have the Jack Life video with him talking about the importance of life insurance. I have Sean's Mike's video in case they're interested in being an agent, because I have some of them that have actually are interested in being life insurance agents. And so I have the recruiting video in there. Like, I'm not playing any games. I send them out my e-card. Everything is, we have to understand that every single thing we do is like technology based. It's like, good gracious, every single thing. Like, we wake up, guys. Let's just be honest with each other. We wake up, go to the bathroom, pick up our cell phone. Some of y'all pick up the cell phone first before you go to the bathroom. Like, let's keep it 100. Okay, we're on our device all the time. So I got hip to the game real quick. I said, you know what? I'm creating this e-card, and it's just been so powerful. My sale today, I had a sale today that the lady said, I couldn't find your number. She said, but I went and searched in the email that you sent me, and I found the e-card, and that's when I called you. She said, I'm plugging in your number right now in my phone. I said, yeah, I told you to do that when we talked, because that's another thing that I tell my clients is put my number in your phone and put Wonderful Insurance Agent right next to my name, or Your Insurance Girl, you know. And that's really huge for me. I do those as well, but sending out those cards. But I think that's everything with the telesales. We do a lot for our team as far as helping one another, so that helps a lot. But honestly, you just have to get up and be ready to go. I think that we think, oh, I can just pick up the phone and dial and it's just going to be so easy. Telesales guys, no. You're going to work just a little bit harder because they don't know you, and you don't want to sound like a telemarketer. So if you don't have that invitation in your voice, and if you're not able to overcome the objections, you know, if you don't got the PB&J, you're going to miss it. Or you're going to dial 1,000 times more people than everybody else. And we don't want to do that. We want to be able to get them, execute, and get going right away. And let's make Mike and everybody proud of us.
There's so many leaders in here. Frank, what'd you think, man? She knows how to do it, right?
You think? I mean, the most common quality I see in people that kill it in this business is they're passionate about helping people. And I'm sorry, you can't fake that. Now, so what do you do when you're broke and you really need money and you're out there for money? Because we've all been there. The only way to not have to fake you're passionate about helping people is to have so much activity that you really don't care if they buy or not. That's the only way you can truly be 100% there for them, when you do enough to, no matter what, you know you're going to make money today because you have so many appointments, or you're willing to work so hard that it really doesn't matter. That's number one. Number two, the small.
You gotta scoot back because your shirt just didn't fit well.
Oh, geez. Okay. Hold on. Let me put my camera down. Jesus, Jamie's like, you got to shoot back. Your shirt just says pedophile. That's a little off. I'm gonna put it down a little bit, just so you all know. Like, I'm not a pedophile. In fact, I'm not a label for them. Holy.
That's hilarious.
Second point, the simple thing, the simple things. I mean, the map with the time zones. People were. I mean, Crystal, like, I know it's small, but it's not. Like, you've got all those small things so that when it's time to work, it's just all there. So I mean, nothing you said was like, that's so crazy. It's just all little tiny things that you do really well. And you really are confident, not arrogant, not cocky. You're happy and confident and assertive, which is all the stuff you need. Now, my question to you is, you probably weren't always like this. Maybe you were always confident. But when it comes to the telesale aspect, like, how long did it take you to start feeling like you were going to call Mike, sell him a policy, and then call me? Because that's how I feel. You pick up the phone, you're buying something. Why? I'm that good. I care about you that much, and I know exactly what you need. And I'm not arrogant. I just feel that I'm the best option to serve you. And that's how you feel, or it's how you sound like you feel, Crystal. How long did it take you to get to that point?
That's a great question. I'm going to say it probably, my curve hit fast because my why got serious.
Oh,
okay. So I'm going to say, 3 or 4 months, it was not long because my why got serious. And don't forget my story, right? So, the wool got pulled up from under me because I talked about going full time. We talk about a lot of things. I talked about being a runway model. Shit, that ain't happening.
right.
Excuse me, right? Not that I couldn't rip the runway, but there wasn't a car. I just didn't do it. So but when that happened and it was, everything on the floor for me, it changed. And then honestly, because your why is important. And I know, I just want to get rid of the cliches, because we have a lot of stuff that we say, make sure your why is important. Make sure it's this and it's that. And I'm like, stop, seriously. What is it? What's your trigger? Yeah, everybody got a why. Yeah, I got a lot of reasons why I'm gonna do something and why I'm not. But what's your trigger? What is your thing to say, you know what? You just did it. That's it. It's do or die. And so I challenge everybody to figure out what's that trigger? What's that thing that Lord knows if this goes away, I had a trigger. I had a couple of triggers,
That's
I had
right.
a couple of triggers that hit like boom, boom, boom. And I just, if I wasn't together, I was going to get it together. Because it was die for me. Like, this has to work. I'm familiar, many of you are familiar with the artist Busta Rhymes, and he tells his story. His story is so phenomenal because he says, I was out here trying to do this rap thing and this, that, and the third, and I couldn't get it together because I ain't had no plan B or C. They all left me. This is it. This has got to work. And so I think a lot of it is that we have to will it. We have to say, you know what? I'm going to make this work. This has got to work for me. And so for me, that learning curve went up because this has to work. This is going to work. This is not an option. I would call Sean Mike myself and be like, look, you're going to talk to me today, because I'm not sitting here and I'm not taking no for an answer from nobody. We're going to work this out and we're going to stay. I don't care, we're up till midnight. I will get on the plane with you and follow you. Because this has got to work. It's that type of determination that I got, that I said, you know what, this is it. I'm done. Like, this is going to work. So I was up late one night and I literally, with a laptop and a tablet, I pulled all my stuff together. I made sure I got all my files. I made sure I knew all my leads were. I made sure I knew where all my resources were. I set up all my passwords so I could get into stuff very quickly, and I would never be embarrassed or not know something or figure out something or figure out whatever I need to do. I got it all together. And it's like I woke up, I was exhausted, but I woke up the next morning. I called Kendall. I said, I'm done. What we gotta do? This is it. And made it work. And it just clicked.
You know, it's funny. Sean has been talking about this stuff, Crystal, last few weeks on our Integrity Partners call about the stuff we did in the beginning, like the attitude where we had it's do or die. We don't have a choice. This is going to work no matter what it takes. Driving 6 hours to a meeting, driving home that night, whatever it took, and how some of us have gotten out of that to where it's like they don't want. Oh, I don't want to do that. Like and I'll shut up after this, Mike. The other thing I love that you said was that I'm fired up about the agent hub, right? Not that you're fired up about our agent hub. I'm fired up that you said I'm gonna be on that tonight. Not like I'm not gonna be on that during the day when I should be on the phone. I'm gonna be on that tonight, which I'd imagine is when you do a lot of your preparation for everything else is after your working hours, right? You go, I need to get this, and this done because if I want to get better, that's what it takes. Have you always done that? Like done the income producing activities during income producing hours and then the other stuff afterwards, or you just starting to develop more and more? I mean, because that's a great use of your time where most people I'm going like, do it at 10 o'clock tonight. Why are you doing it at 3 o'clock prime dialing time? It makes no sense to me.
No, I started off wrong and did everything wrong and backwards. I was jacked up for months. No, I didn't. Because the reality of it is I had a job. And I'm talking to my full-time workers here. I had a job. I remember, and I don't think I've ever said this out loud, so y'all are really getting the best of me tonight. But I remember going to an appointment and the person was just like, not nice and a butthole. I just looked at him and I was like, whatever, I don't need this crap. I got a job. And I was like, whatever. And I left. Like, I didn't care. Like, it was that nonchalantness, but it changed because then I got to thinking, well, hold on. I think I'm doing him a disservice, but I'm doing myself a disservice. And we don't look at it like that. We always we are in a country that we are spoiled. We are spoiled. We have access. We can go down the street and listen, I went to the DR last month. I took my daughter as a graduation present. She just graduated from college. And I said, we don't have a little girls trip. We're going to go to the DR, right? And I went there. I was super excited. Stayed at a 5-star resort, all inclusive, blah, blah, blah. So nice. Well, one of the excursions we went to, we had to drive an hour and 45 minutes to get to the coast to go across the island to go snorkeling and do all this other crap that we were doing. In that hour and 45 minutes, Frank, that hour and 45 minutes changed my life. It changed my life. This was just last month. Now my life already had been changed, I thought before, but it changed even more just 30 days ago because I saw the poverty. I saw the language barrier. I saw all the things that we take for granted. And I'm sitting here like, yo, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm 10,000 miles ahead of them. But
that's right.
Got an excuse or a reason to push harder. Like, no, that's not an excuse. I think we make a lot of things that are simple excuses. Well, the baby's crying. Oh, we got an agent on our team who's got 4 boys. She just had a son. Her butt is on Zoom. She up here right now. I just can't even see everybody. But she's up there. She's dialing. Why? Because she wants better for her 4 boys and her husband. So, these are the triggers. It's a trigger. It's not her why. It's a trigger. And I think that we confuse the two because if we think about it, we don't really know what our why is. Oh, well, I want to put my mama in a better house. And, I want to buy these new red bottoms and I want to do that. Why? You can work a job and do that. Your why has to be something that the check can't always cash. Like your why is something that's so deep inside of you, but what's going to get you to act on the why is your trigger. And I had triggers. I had things that happened in my life that made me say, Crystal, what you really doing? Like I had a major, and I'm talking a major self-talk with myself. And I was like, you know what? Nah, girl, this ain't you. This ain't you. Get it together. And see, can't nobody, and I tell this to my team all the time. I cannot talk to Kendall. I can hang up the phone. I cannot talk to you, Frank. I cannot talk to Mike. I cannot talk to nobody. I can cut that sucker off. But you know what I can't cut off? Myself. You know who I can't outrun? Myself. I have to look at myself every single day. And when I see people who I'm looking at and I'm saying, you did what? And you're how old? And you what? Oh no, it's a trigger. It's a trigger for me because I'm competitive, and
Right.
and but I have some serious other triggers too that
Sure.
things that I just don't want to ever experience again. And so that's what pushes me.
I loved it. You're awesome. We've been on a mission trip to like Honduras, and like I think everybody should do that for perspective in life anyway, because you see how people like that live, and see if you complain any more about anything here, because how good we have it. You know what I mean? So, Chris, I could talk to you for hours. Like, are you coming to the Maryland conference?
I am going to be there, sir. I can't wait
Yes.
to break bread and meet you guys. I'm super
Awesome.
excited. Yes, I will be there.
Perfect. I'm excited to meet you face to face. This was fire, Mike, and Kendall, you should be proud. Crystal, you should be proud of yourself. I mean, you this is incredible. Basic stuff, simple stuff anybody can do. And it's just choices and decisions and triggers. I love that. I love the trigger. That makes so much sense. So Mike, again, I'm gonna shut up because this thing will run till 8 o'clock.
No, I get it, man. It's no wonder why she's moving. Just look at her attitude, and I think just her disposition. Agents obviously love working with her, and clients love working with her as well. So that's all that it takes. We always talk about that, right, Frank? Attitude and activity, and she's putting forth both. So no wonder why you're killing. I'm super excited for what is going to take place here at the Baltimore conference. I think we have the ability to make it the biggest conference ever. And if you just look at the faces on this group, Sean talks about it all the time. What did Damon John say? The strength of our company is the diversity of this company. If you look at this team as a whole and realize how diverse we are and the amount that we could all learn from each other and really propel each other forward, I think is incredible. We all have an amazing opportunity over the next, year and a half to all of us be just in a completely different situation. So I truly am honored and blessed and humbled to be part of this team. And I think we got some, we're going to take over this company. I'll tell you that we got some great people on this group, on this team.
No doubt. Chris, I'm going to give you one pointer. Uncrustables. Just saying.
That guy loves Uncrustables. He took them on. We were down at the conference last year. He made sure the fridge was stacked. So he is Uncrustables. So
Got you. Thanks.
awesome. I'm looking forward. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you guys next week, every Monday at 6 o'clock. Everyone make it a great night.